Hi, everyone. There was a request to explain synthetic division one more time. So I chose an example from the textbook that would sort of dabble into every point that I made. So this is question 3G from page 91. That's chapter 2.1. I specifically chose this one because, well, number one, when we're doing synthetic division, we need everything, both the dividend and what I'm dividing by, or the divisor, to be ordered based on their degrees. So typically in grade 9, 10, or 11, your teacher probably asked you to write your polynomials in decreasing degree fashion. So in this case, if this was f of x, so let me just quickly just say that's f of x. F of x should be rewritten as positive x cubed plus 6x squared minus a 6. Okay. I also chose this example because there's actually a term missing if we were to count down the exponents in I guess, descending order. When you are doing both long division or synthetic division, it is important for you to write out the entire function, or rather the polynomial, in descending order, even if a term is missing. So in this particular case, you notice how there's a term with no single x to the power of 1. Put it in there with a coefficient of 0. That is how you argue that this would have been equal to 0 anyways. But I'm going to put it there again so that synthetic division works. So here it is. The first number, a coefficient is 8, 6, 0, and then followed by -6. If you were to divide it, again, why you're dividing it, that depends on the question asked. But this video is just trying to show you what you do for synthetic division. Okay, so here it is. The last thing I want to mention when you're dividing is when you're doing synthetic division, it has to be a divisor of a linear binomial. It has to be ax minus b, or in other words, mx plus b, right? Like it has to be a straight line equation, basically. In this particular case, my divisor is 4x minus 3. And what we place here, at least the way I taught you, was to write down the root of this divisor if it were to equal a 0, right? And so x would be a positive 3 divided by a 4. So we write a positive 3 over 4 here. And then coefficient 8, coefficient 6, coefficient 0, and coefficient -6. Now, also in class, I thought it would be most useful to you if you don't have to get hung up on the fact that this is fractions, and instead know that this is simply a multiplication of 3 with a division of 4. So every number we get on the lower, I guess, quarter, the bottom right corner of this line, of this, I guess, cross, is divide by 4 first, and then multiply it by 3. So following the steps of synthetic division, the first thing you want to do is drop the first coefficient down as the, I guess, to start. And then, again, just like I did in class, I think I highlighted in red. The first thing I'd like you to do as soon as you get a number in that first row, or that bottom row, is divide by whatever the denominator is. And so in this case, that would be a 2. And why I ask you to do that is because, as I said in class, a lower set of numbers are going to be important. They're going to be your answer. So here we go. Recap. This time, just let me stop here and explain that I will go through all the motions on its own now. There's no interruptions. This is what you would do if you were solving this on your own. Drop the first coefficient down. Divide by the 4, because that's what the denominator is. Then multiply by the 3. And that will bring us to the next number. Okay, so 2 times 3 is a 6. Great. Add down 6 plus 6 will be a 12. And then once again, I'm going to divide by 4, which brings me to a 3. And that 3 is going to then be multiplied by 3. So that 3 times 3 is now a 9. And we add it down. 0 plus 9 is 9. Again, divide by 3. Oh, sorry, divide by 4. That's a little annoying. That's 9/4 or 2.25, whichever. And that number then is going to be multiplied by a 3, which gives us 27/4, or again, let's see, multiplied by 3, so 6.75. And if you add that together, you end up with 3/4 or 0.75. Okay, and the remainder, yeah, the remainder you can just leave. The answer to this question would be, as I said, the lower set. Okay, so using synthetic division, so there's a lot to worry about or a lot to think about, but once you get the hang of it, it'll come very naturally. Watch this video again just to go through my points and listen to my explanations. And the final answer, if I had f of x divided by 4x minus 3, that would equal, actually, let me step back. 4x, f of x can be represented as a multiple of 4x minus 3, and the answer I have here, 2x squared plus 3x plus 9/4. And what I have as a remainder would be 3/4 or 0.75. Right? Let me quickly double check to make sure I'm not doing anything silly. That becomes negative 27/4 minus that becomes a 6. Yeah, so this is correct. If you were to write it in quotient form, you would have 2x squared, 3x, 9/4, and 3/4 would be divided by 4x minus 3. If I were to simplify that, division, multiplication, that will be 3/16x/12. Don't worry too much about that fraction thing. If you really work this out, you would probably get that. That's not a problem. The goal of this video was to try to explain synthetic division anyways. Hope that helped. If not, I guess you could leave something in the comments or message me or email me once again. And yeah, keep trying. Thank you for reaching out and asking for this example. It just shows that you are trying at home, which is more than I can ask for as a teacher. Okay, see you tomorrow.